What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the SDM Effect. Today, we talk faith, purpose, redemption, overcoming obstacles, and real stories that inspired change. Today, we are joined by author, veteran, father, and an advocate, Mr. William Stevens, creator of the Reflection Series Legacy Edition. This is more than a book, it's a journey through military service, PTSD, fatherhood, healing, identity, and breaking generational cycles. William, thanks for being here and welcome to the STM Effect. How you doing today, boss?
Hey Steven, how you doing, man? Thank you for having me on the show, man.
Most definitely, man. It's an honor, man. Like you have done a lot with your books, man, and getting the awards with them, and also with the awards, and that is so amazing. I actually have two books out there. I just published, self-published, on Amazon. So yeah, I've just started. I just released it. I think I released it like last month. So it's pretty neat, man. But just to be in your presence is totally amazing.
Oh, don't say that. No. The best way to go is indie, man. Indie self-published, dude. I've been scammed several times by big publishing companies. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
So so for the people who are actually watching, because we are live now, for the people who do not know Mr. William Stevens, can you let them know who he is?
Well, I thought about this because like every time I'm on podcasts, it's always like the same narrative or something. So I thought I'd change it up a little bit. So I'm just a skateboard kid from Carlisle, Pennsylvania. I joined the Army in 1988. I did 20 years. I have multiple combat tours. I've been multiply around the world. Did two tours in Korea. Now, I'm not that old. I didn't do Korean War, but I did two tours in Korea. 4 years in Germany, Fort Lewis, Washington, Fort Riley, Fort Carson twice. Yeah, and New Cumberland, where I live now. Like I was an advisor, and I helped write. A lot of people don't know. Before I was even author, my fifth combat tour, which really I don't consider as combat because I went and collected classified data for the Center
Mhm.
of Army Lessons Learned. We
Yeah.
helped write a security force handbook. So I got, a little credit for that, but it didn't like put me anywhere. And like, what did that book do for me today? But maybe because like I'm an author now, I can come back and talk about that. But I've been writing since, not even writing, just poems and little tiny pieces of paper since I was 19 years old. I'm 56 now. In about 22 days, I'll be 57. So I
Oh yeah.
try to live my life as an advocate for mental health, PTSD, and people that are suicidal. I do know the Broken Mirror, my four-time award-winning, or four-time, I don't like to say award, literacy awards for the Broken Mirror has saved three people's lives. Uh, and I would just say that, after being in a terrible marriage, treating my daughter like crap, treating my ex-wife like crap, watching my dad die, my mom die, my sister just died about 6 months ago. Weird, my mom and my sister were both 61 when they died. And now I have to have this legacy to go past my dad who's 84. So I try to be the best every day, but you never know. Like you wake up, you're feeling sluggish. Next day, you feel like you're on top of the world. But I guess that's everything that happens like when you have mental health issues because like I just want to admit one thing here. When you see people on podcasts, man, you think like they're the greatest and almighty, but I write in the Broken Mirror, I am the villain, and I have been the villain. And I won't lie, I have bashed veterans. They have bashed me, and I am publicly coming out here because like it's about diversity. It has to be about diversity in the author community and in the veteran community because like even though you don't agree with a smut book or a book about wizard and fantasy, I
Yeah.
write about mental health, and not a lot of people like mental health books. So they're like, "Who's these characters?" Well, I'm the wrong character. So, and today, just a couple weeks ago, I released the Reflection series. So, yeah, and I did 16 years in the civilian government, and I was fired, and that's probably one reason why I wrote the Broken Mirror because I wanted to call out the inner workings of the government and how they treat people with mental health.
Yeah.
So, and then the last thing, The Mirror and The Broken Mirror have been approved by the Pentagon Review Board. So, but I'm always trying to help authors with like their book covers and stuff. I see people that, I don't believe that authors should have KDP. You know what a KDP book cover is?
KDP, yes. Yes, I do.
Like you design it on KDP and it looks like it might be white with a blue stripe or something like that. Yeah. I guarantee if you go out and put that on a bookshelf somewhere, I don't think no one's gonna buy it. It's gotta pop. Like your image behind you, man, looks like a cool book cover.
Yeah, like when I had downloaded my image on my book cover on KDP, and it wouldn't go forward unless I tried to implement their like the strips, and like so what I did was I try to make their lines and all that transparent with the book cover so you wouldn't see it. You know what I mean? So it's like, well, okay, now I'm following by your rules, but you can't see your big old fat line in there, so I should be good, And I actually think it came out pretty good, you know what I mean? Like after I released it the first time, I went back and recreated some of it, and and so I like kept the front cover, but on the back cover I actually put my image and I changed the font because for some reason KDP changed my font, and I'm like, no, that's not how the font I want. You know what I mean? Like, keep my original font and we should be good. And then like only thing else I seen there was a flaw on KDP was my table of contents. It was 40 chapters, but chapter 1 started at right after the table of contents on the same page, and I didn't like that. But it is what it is. It's first time, I learned from my mistake.
Yep. I've been down the rabbit hole several times with KDP, man. But one thing I do is I help authors with their covers. So like if you want to share your cover later with me, I'll show you like the examples of my covers. I've done covers for people for free, and their covers blow my covers away. I'm like, hey, man, how do I do that? My cover's like this, But I've changed my cover. Yeah, it's fine because it's it's only a recommendation.
Most definitely, yeah, because I have a book that I'm going to release in 3 months called God's Shield. So I already got the design made and I got it on my laptop, but I have not made it a formal, like everything's there. I got the cover. I haven't made the back cover yet, but like nothing's set in stone yet. Like the book's there, but the cover is I'm still getting the kinks out of it. But yeah, I'll send it over to you after we get off the pod, man, and see what you can do with it.
Yeah, most people design on KDP because they can't do like I figured it out, man. Because like I use ChatGPT to do the dimensions.
Yeah.
Like I'll make the cover and then run it through ChatGPT to like maybe
redefine a little
coordination a little bit. Like I have done some things where it's like I've been wearing a bracelet or something, and because I'm like a gothic or dark person. It'll take like happy smiley face and turn it into like some gothic emo. I'm like, what the heck? But yeah, so what I do is I tell Chat, hey, it needs to be 6x9, with a 1.5-inch border, binder.
Yeah.
And it will design it and make a PDF. And then I can send it to Ingram, who I deal with, or because that like takes the work away from what they're doing. They just put it up. Or if I feel up to it, like I will put a Kindle up and see how it does. And then I'll put a softback, but I don't sell any hardbacks on Amazon because Amazon takes 60% of those books, man.
Yeah. Like each one, like I sold like I think 16 books when I first dropped it, and out of all those 16 books, I probably only seen a piece of it. I was like, well, but it's like I said, it's trial and error. You don't know what you're doing, so you just put it out there and it's like you're throwing a coin up in the air into the wishing well. You know what I mean? If it happens, it happened. If it don't, it don't. If not, I tried. If I could just reach one person, then my job is done. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, man. Definitely.
But first and foremost, man, my condolences to you for your loss of your families, man. I do apologize. I'm sorry to hear about that. Um, so you say you got four books, and the one recently we talked about, you described Reflection series as not being three books, but one broken soldier's story. What made this the right time to combine everything into one legacy edition?
uh, friends not one friends not wanting to buy all three books. Like, why are you trying to promote all three books and they're all about mirror and reflections and your story and all that? So I think after I did No Filter with my face on it, like this
Yeah.
is the only book with my face on it. This is like only 90 pages and the audiobook is like an hour. Super quick, talks about authors being scammed and leadership, military, corporate, and sports leadership. I just decided that, I was starting to do this thing called the Reflection series, and the website that I have, Storytime with Devo 69, is the Reflection series website. And I sat down with a friend, and he's like, Steve, maybe you need to combine all three books because, like, if you don't write no more, because I don't write no more, I do like audio monologues and help other authors. I've had two authors come to me and ask me to do their forwards, so that's an honor.
Mhm.
One guy, Marine Corps veteran, gunnery sergeant, he didn't really know who I was. We bond just like this, man. Well, he thinks what I think, and he's like, "Hey, would you do my new book? Would you do the forward?" And I'm like, "Damn, wow, man, that's crazy." So this has been in the works, and it's not finalized because I'm not happy with some of the artwork inside, but it is here. It's a big book. It is a thick book. I mean, I took the little font and made it bigger in the book. Um, this is it right here.
That is amazing.
So there are three pillars. One of the pillars I actually put on the spine. I was blown away when they did that. And part of my logo,
Yeah.
my little logo I have. But yeah, it's called the Reflection Series Legacy Edition because there's, I'll just show you real quick, special artwork in it. It's like a battlefield theme. I think it's really cool, but I'm a perfectionist. You see the white line around it?
Yeah.
I don't like the white line, so I have them redoing it. This is
Oh,
an
right on
author
top.
copy.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and because they should have moved it up because if you look, you see my name is gone right there. My name is
Yeah.
like halfway gone. So if
Oh,
they
yeah.
move it up, yeah, I made a video. I'm like, look, y'all, like, it's not cheap, man. People were spending $55 on this, man. Printing is not cheap. My author copies cost me $25 for me
Yeah.
to buy my own. Yeah. And I have gone out and bought my own book when it was a black and white because, like, it was originally supposed to come out a month ago and it was black and white. And I'm like, what are you guys doing, man? So, yeah, I love it. It's really nice. And then what I really like about it is the theatrical piece in the back with me and my daughter. So this is like father and daughter walking off. And then this is the other piece right here with my daughter looking in a broken mirror.
Yeah.
So this is like the end of the whole thing because, like, the mirror, it's like a cliffhanger. Like, hey, you got this broken bond with your kid,
Yeah.
How is it today? So I still believe that my daughter has some type of vendetta against me because when you treat kids like garbage or family members like garbage, they always remember that.
Yeah. Six.
Even though you pay for everything or, and I tried to buy love. I really did, man. But when you buy love and yell at people, it doesn't happen, man. So, and I admit, like I said, I'm the villain. And I'm not going to come on here and say that my medicine is making me better, but I have coping mechanisms. And one of my coping mechanisms is interviewing people with trauma on my podcast, Crawl, Walk, Run.
Yeah.
And I always like to invite the guests that had invited me on to talk because, like, if you talk about religion or something, I want to know, like, what got you into podcasting. Or I believe everybody has some type of childhood trauma or have witnessed some trauma, and it comes out. And there's no skit or anything like that. I just love it. I don't go live because when you interview people with trauma, they kind of like stop.
Yeah.
and you gotta like, and I don't edit anything, so I kind of like have things in the background. You know, I have background pictures or videos to play so that they can go in the green room and compose themselves. You know,
Yeah.
and I talk to people like that before we do the show. Like I'm like, look, I'll ask you 3 or 4 questions in the beginning. What is crawl, walk, run? What is trauma? If you don't have trauma, what do you do to help people with trauma? What are the coping mechanisms with trauma? And if you're military or even like you retire from the civilian side, what was that transition like? Like, okay, I was in for a year, I was at Walter Reed in 2007 to 2008, an
Yeah.
inpatient, outpatient psych unit, you know? And that was a weird transition because like I was only with 12 people for a whole year.
Yeah.
And then coming home to be a father, I didn't even know how to be a dad. Like I
Yeah.
had a brand new daughter. I had a wife that I've had, she's with my wife since 2006. And most of the time in 2006 for 4 or 5 months, I was deployed. And we have been dating since 2004. But, you know, when I came back, I didn't have a weapon. So like I went through a lot of weird stuff, man. Like people were shooting at the convoys we're in and all that. And, you know, it just, I'm glad that they were trained to take care of us, almost like we were very important people in the convoy. Like they were escorting us around and we were collecting data, but like
Yeah.
I didn't have a firearm to protect myself. So I was a different person, man. The smiley, happy guy that left for Iraq the 5th time, man. I came back, I'll tell you, I won't even say then. When Desert Shield, Desert Storm, man, when I was 19, I lost that, you know, the funny bone.
Yeah.
They hit you in I lost that funny bone and that artistic. I used to be able to draw and all that in school, but I lost all that artistic ability, man, from being in combat and seeing people not being here no more. But yeah, I have coping mechanisms, man, that help me do things. And then I hand out trinkets to people like poker chips
Yeah.
with 988 suicide hotline, and then my logo, my fire logo, or now I go frozen yoga. But now we're going to be working on the audio book, me and my boy Kevin, and he's using his voice, but I think he's going to clone his voice the same, but we turned the cover ice. It's going to be an ice cover. So instead of the fire cover, it's going to be ice, because here's one thing. When you do an audio book, people don't want to see the actual cover of the book. They want to see something different.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I learned that. People are like, why don't you change the cover a little bit? So, and you learn a lot of things from ChatGPT, because like my ChatGPT is called Echo.
Yeah.
And I run things through it all the time and be like, do some research on like how many times people, like when they scroll online for audiobooks, it's only like 2 or 3 seconds, man. And
Yeah.
if you don't have the hook or the book cover,
They keep
they're
scrolling. Yeah.
scrolling. Yeah, man.
Most
man.
definitely. Yeah. Cause my analytics,
Yeah.
man, every time I look at my lives and I go to the feed, cause like we'll have like 80 to 150 to 250 views, and the analytics break down and it shows how many people watched it for 3, 4, 5 seconds and then scrolled on. How many people watched it for a minute and then scrolled on? How many people watched it for 5 minutes and scrolled on? It's like, so they're in there, but they don't, it doesn't catch their attention. So they're like, I don't want to watch this. Like the person that's watching right now. Yeah. Hello. How are you doing today? They're probably going to scroll off here in a minute anyway, because they're not interested. You know what I mean? But if you do say, really do appreciate it. So, but I understand where you're coming from.
I bet I know who that is.
Yeah.
It's my friend Kevin. He's in Texas right now, and I told him, I was like, "Yo, man, I'm going live tonight, man." So he's huge. Yeah. Did he leave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
but
I understand when you talk about when you said about being a bad father and all that. Like you didn't know how to parent, basically, and everything you say to kids, it sticks with them in their heads. And I totally understand where you're coming from, because that was me back in the day. Because to me, like, I was an awful dad. You know what I mean? I always yelled, always, told if they didn't do something right, I always yelled at them and told them, you know what, yada, yada, yada. And to this day, I still apologize for it, because I know they act like it doesn't bother them, but I know in their head, in the back of their head, they're like, you told me this. You used to do this to me. You know what I mean? Like, you used
Oh
to
yeah.
spank me and all this. Like, you hurt my feelings. And so, like you said, I was trying to buy their love. But I stopped drinking, and honestly, since I stopped drinking, like they're actually starting to come closer to me. And I think that's what the problem was. They didn't like
Yeah.
seeing dad drinking all the time. You know what I mean? Because like when you're
Me,
drunk,
I thought my daughter was a soldier, man.
oh man,
Yeah, man. But here's the thing. I grew up in a mentally and a physically abusive. My dad was a drunk, alcoholic, hit my mom with like frying pans and all. I witnessed all kinds of crazy stuff that I write about in No Filter. But as a father, I never disciplined my child because my ex-wife grew up in a family where it was like sit in the corner, take your phone away from you and stuff like that. Not like physically abused, like where my dad whooped my butt with like a freaking belt buckle. He would hit me so hard, instead of hit me with the belt, he would hit me with the buckle because
yeah,
he was drunk. Yeah, so that's why I left to go in the army. I didn't join the army. Like I see all these people saying they joined the military for patriotism and all that. Come on, man. A lot of us left because we had broken homes and stuff like that. And if we would have stayed there, I wouldn't be talking today.
yeah,
But with my daughter, I was never physically anything with my ex-wife or my daughter. Never. It was all mental abuse.
yeah,
And mental abuse, I think, is worse than physical abuse because, like, you can mentally manipulate somebody, you know, but the scars are always there. I mean, even though, like, if you hit someone or slap someone, yeah, that pain goes away. But you know what? It's still embedded in their head that the parent abused the child, you know?
yeah,
And now you can't do that. Like, now, if you hit your child, like real discipline, because that's when I grew up. When my dad whooped my butt and beat me, I thought that was discipline. Really, but
yeah,
today
most definitely. Yeah, yeah,
you can be sued, you can go to jail. Kids try to come back on their parents and sue them or unalive them. It's crazy today, man. It's really crazy, man. But
yeah,
like, yeah,
yeah. I actually seen this one clip, man, where the son was suing his parents because he didn't ask to be brought into this world. And I was like, what? I was like, that's crazy. Back in the day, because I was born in the 80s, you know, and,
mm,
you know, getting your butt whooped, like you said, was discipline. You know what I mean? Like, once you get whooped, you know not to do it again. These
yeah.
days, you take the phone away, the kids throw a fit. So if we could probably go back to the 80s and get the leather belt on their butt, I think this world might be a little bit different.
I have seen where parents, I have seen where parents take their phone or their video games around from these kids,
Yeah.
and they will go to the gun cabinet and unalive their parents.
Oh, yeah. No, that's too far.
That's ridiculous, man. That's like
Yeah.
that's parenting, wrong parenting.
Yeah.
And if you're a parent out there and you have those pew pews, lock them up, lock them up.
Most
I'm
definitely, man.
telling you, man, it's crazy. I don't have one because of my mental health. I have a non-lethal, like a almost like a lethal paintball gun, but we'll just keep it at that. So.
Oh, okay, most definitely. So in your book, you write, the cycle ends with me. What generational cycles were you determined to break?
So the cycle does end with me because my parents and my sister are gone.
Yeah.
There are no more relatives. Like I didn't do no 23 and Me. I don't go to family get-togethers no more. Like on my ex-wife's side, and there's a few, and I interact with them on different platforms because they know that I'm an advocate now and I'm not the terrible father. But I will tell you that there's one that carries the legacy, and that's my kid.
Yeah,
My
most
18-year-old
definitely.
daughter carries the legacy, and I really hope that when I'm gone, all the money that comes in, like I don't get no money from my books. Like if I get $1.75, it goes into a private account. But my daughter is starting to hit me up like, Dad, can I get a little bit of that money from the account? And she knows it's there. She
Hmm.
knows it's there, and she knows that the books sell. Like I don't make no money off my books. I don't charge people for podcasts. I'm not making anything out of being an advocate. I should people tell me that you should charge for public speaking, but I'm not out there a lot doing public speaking. And come October, I will be out on the road, like not homeless because I have enough money to buy like a hotel room or something like that. But me and then my little dog that I had for 13 years, I almost lost her the other night, so I had to spend ungodly amounts of money for surgery for her. But I had two lifelines, this dog and my daughter. And I always have to think about when those lifelines aren't here, am I going to be at 22? Am I going to end my life? No, because I'm the last. Like, that is what this is, the legacy. This is the legacy. I am the legacy.
Yeah, most
So
definitely.
yeah.
So you openly
doing your homework.
most definitely, man. So you openly discuss childhood trauma, abuse, and silence before the military. How much of your healing journey started before combat and not after it?
Oh man, dude. So I went from one battlefield to the next, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot. So today there are not a lot of Desert Shield, Desert Storm veterans around. Like there's more. Seriously, like when I talk to people, it's more Operation Iraqi Freedom or Afghan vets or Vietnam vets, because like there's a lot of people that have passed away from OIF, man, from like toxic exposure, burn pit, depleted uranium. I happen to be near the area where I don't know if you've ever seen pictures of the Desert Shield, Desert Storm, the burning oil fields.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So luckily I was not one of those guys that were in there fighting with oil all over me. There were Marines, and my heart goes out to them guys. Now I just happened to be, but the unit I was in, we pushed forward to the line of departure, like the LD they call it, where like both sides are ready to come at each other. But yeah, we were forward of the LD during the war, before the war. But to get back to your question, can you say that again? I'm sorry, my mind.
Oh, okay. I said you openly discuss childhood trauma, abuse, and silence before the military.
Yeah.
I said, how much of your healing journey started before combat and not after it?
None. So I went from 19 years old to basic training AIT, went to Germany for about 6 months. And the next thing I knew, I found myself at the port in Saudi Arabia, and we were in Desert Shield, Desert Storm. And yeah, it's been a nut roll ever since, man, because like I think I signed up for 4 years, and I went to Carson and I made staff sergeant while I was at Carson, like from 89. So I left in 91 from Germany. So from 91 to Carson, I made staff sergeant at Carson. So when I left Germany, I was a specialist. I was an E4. But when I was in Desert Shield, Desert Storm, I was an E2 and an E3. So like a private and a private first class. But I think when I made sergeant, and I didn't keep sergeant very long, it was only about a year. When I made sergeant, that's when I knew that I think it was time for a career, because like I didn't have a girlfriend. I wasn't married. And then when I was inducted in 97 to the Sergeant Audie Murphy Club Leadership, Distinguished Leadership Club, that made me feel on top. Like the military awarded me something for taking care of my soldiers, like coach, teach, mentor. And that's why I call my show Crawl, Walk, Run, same as coach, teach, mentor. Because the Army tries to instill even all the branches, they try to instill leadership into people, There's so many different definitions of leadership out there. When somebody asks me, Steve, what's the definition of leadership? I just go crawl, walk, run, man. They're like, wow, that's amazing. That's really short.
It's crazy how you bring that up, because that leads into my next question. You said you wrote that you knew how to lead soldiers and complete missions before, but struggled to come home. Can you explain what that meant?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you physically come home, but you mentally don't. I mean, like, look, a lot of these guys, man, a lot of these guys and gals that are lost out there that can't make it in society, they want to go back. They want to go back to the tribe and the brotherhood, but they're going back physically, man, because they're not mentally there. There's a lot of people that aren't getting help that is not disclosed. So I always tell people, the battlefield is like leading soldiers. I learned my leadership on the battlefield when I was a young private, because if I wouldn't have, if the cannoneer inside the howitzer or the gun, the tank wouldn't have broke his wrist, I would have never got in there and shot a 45 round mission and learned that I kind of like, not a valor thing, but a fallen soldier. So I got up and took over shooting, kind of like, it's funny because I'm from Carlisle, Pennsylvania, and I don't know if you ever heard of Molly Pitcher. Molly Pitcher is from Carlisle, and during the Revolutionary War, her husband was a cannoneer, and she carried water to the cannons, the smoldering cannons.
Yeah.
And her husband was beheaded. And Molly Pitcher, Mary Ludwig Hayes, because when I was in my senior course, I did a research on her. General George Washington promoted her before he was the president. General George Washington promoted her to Sergeant Molly. She was the first female non-commissioned officer, the first sergeant in the entire Confederacy or in the Revolutionary, whatever side they were on. I'm not that history buff, but it's kind of like that, because she earned her leadership and then later on went into things. So you never take the battlefield to the living room.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of soldiers and officers and enlisted people do. And they don't realize it, because if you've seen the movie American Sniper with Chris Kyle,
yeah,
you saw it. They didn't play the PTSD thing big time. And I think that would have made that an amazing movie, because like there's a scene in there that I don't ever forget, because like this dude has sniped so many people, man. Like he was a martyr. Like he was a murderer, dude. Like, I mean, but that was his job. He was a sniper, and he was known to unalive people at very long ranges. And a kid walked up to him in the movie when he was in the auto shop.
Yeah.
Do you remember in the movie the kid said, "Hey, you saved my brother," and the guy with the impact wrench was like, "Brrr," and it hit him, and he flashed back. And I'm telling you, man, even though you think you're healed, sense, smell, freaking sounds, they could trigger people. And just in conversations, there's certain things that you say and don't say to veterans. I just think that, I have not really seen a real movie out there that drives into the real, people don't even know what PTSD is, post-traumatic stress disorder. And I mentioned in the Broken Mirror, different illnesses and stuff, and I pulled some of that stuff from a guy named Sean Coss, Sean Coss, C-O-S-S. He does like illustrational pictures and stuff, but I took his stuff, reworded it because like the definitions, but I didn't use like all his. There's like 180 different illnesses, but like today you have political stress or political anxiety. People have meltdowns over political stuff, and then you have the trans side, and you have the LGBTQ, and people are always labeling everything, man. And I learned from my buddy Brian, man, stop labeling everything, man. The world needs to stop labeling everybody, because you know what? I learned when I started like doing the PTSD thing, like mentoring and stuff like that. I took some classes, man, like some free classes, and learned, like, I'm not trying to go after that community, but you're going to come across someone that like that is suicidal, man, like an LGBT or a trans person or something like that. And you got to be like at this level, man, because you don't know everything that they know. And all you're trying to do, man, is like not change them over, but keep them here, because like cyberbullying, man, is crazy. You have celebrities that make billions and billions of dollars, and one person says the wrong thing, and I'm guilty for it. I've said it to an Army female, and I'm admitting it right now that I'm sorry, and I know that she'll never I didn't say it online, but I said it to her directly online, me and her. But cyberbullying, man, is the worst. I mean, you have celebrities, man, they get bullied and they're not here no more.
Most
And like I was
definitely.
saying, in No Filter, I have in No Filter, I have a page, I have a chapter called "Don't Be a Cat Stevens." It talks about being bullied.
Yeah.
Like they bullied me in school and called me Cat Stevens and meowed at me and all kinds of stuff. And today, if you're bullied like that, parents, you better watch your children, man, because them kids are gonna come back. And me, I couldn't talk to no one back in the day, man. And there was no internet. You couldn't come on the internet and be like, "This is the last time. This is a trigger warning, and I'm not gonna be here no more." And then like, dude, but most people who don't talk about it are the ones that do it.
Yeah, most definitely. And so, like, so this leads to two of my next questions because PTSD is a major theme throughout the whole book. So, what do you wish people understood about the invisible battles veterans face every day? Like, we kind of touched on it just a while ago, but with that being said, you said PTS doesn't just affect the person, it affects the families as well. How did it
Oh
impact
yeah.
the fatherhood and relationships in your life?
First, I'll
You
go
know,
to the 22. I'll go to the 22 a day if you know what that is.
22 a day?
20, 22 veterans a day commit suicide a day.
No, damn.
Yeah, so
Did not.
it's a campaign called 22 a day. But people don't realize, now this is where I answer your question. 22 veterans' spouses and children combined. Some children can't live in that environment and they unalive themselves. The spouse can't live in that environment. So then the husband, who was the villain or the one who now he's by himself dealing with the children.
Yeah.
So I just I believe mental health is a life sentence without parole. I mean, I've worked in the prison system and seen murderers and killers walk out that front door and not come back.
Yeah.
But when you have the invisible demons, like I wrote in The Broken Mirror, the invisible demons,
Yeah.
I say that I'm like, so you said you were born, see, you were young in the 80s. In the 80s, they came out with I kind of visionary, like a video game. There was a game called Dragon's Lair.
Yes. I was born in 85. So,
Okay, Dragon's Lair was the game. So
yeah. That and
I
Zelda.
talk about, yep, I talk about invisible demons where I am that knight. I am that dude.
Mm-hmm.
And I am to slay the dragon. And the demons and the PTSD are the dragons.
Yeah.
And I truly believe, like, I have noticed in my daughters. Now, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. Can I swear?
Yeah. Go ahead. It's your show.
Okay, so calling your daughter and your wife, your ex-wife, a bitch, that carries on. That carries on because, like, I know my daughter and my ex-wife get into altercations.
Yeah.
Okay. When my ex-wife calls me or says, "Hey, your daughter's calling me the B word," do you know where she got that from? And I always truly believe that it could be hereditary. Like it's born into them. If you treat your children, because my dad treated me like garbage, but I didn't drink because I think if I drank and smoked with the medicine I was taking,
It'd be a
I
whole different William.
probably would be in jail or my kid wouldn't be here.
Most definitely.
Or, yeah.
And how you say it's hereditary, I understand where you come from because, like, but it is like, I guess you could say it is up to us to break that generational curse. You know what I mean? Like, just because you were treated this certain way doesn't mean you have to treat your kids. But it's instilled in us, like we were talking about our kids earlier. It's instilled in our head that this is okay. This is okay to do. But in reality, if you could break that curse, you know what I mean, then do it. You know what I mean? Because the Almighty, man, you were born for a purpose. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? And and the man up above is the only one that knows your purpose. You know what I mean? And and it's upon us in our generation to break those curses to teach our children the correct way, because I grew up in a decent childhood. You know what I mean? I'm not going to bash my parents. You know what I mean? But
Oh,
my
definitely.
my mom and dad had their flaws. You know what I mean? My dad had a lot of flaws because he was a drunk. You know what I mean? And I grew up thinking in my head, it's okay to be an alcoholic. It's okay to drink and do all this good stuff, but it's not good stuff. You know what I mean? And it took me probably till 2 years ago to finally find out. It's not okay. And so now I haven't drank in I say almost 3 months now. And my life
Wow.
started to change around. I gave myself to the Christ, Lord Jesus Christ, or whatever, and and I'm starting to feel a lot better as well because it's like, yeah, this is what I've been missing. You know what I mean?
Do you
So
believe? Do you believe your podcasting is a coping mechanism for you?
the coping mechanism, I believe my podcast, for me, it's release for me. Yes, you know what I mean. Also the gym, and I also love to hear people's stories. You know what I mean, and also what they've been through and how they conquered their stuff. You know what I mean? It's here for inspiration. It's here for motivation. It's here to learn. It's here to promote. You know what I mean? It's here to let people know it is okay that you went through this. And you just have to take that one step forward and you can change. You know what I mean? So that's what I believe it is. It's here to inspire and motivate. And like we talked about earlier before we even went live, if we could just change that one person's life, then you did what we came for. Go ahead.
No, I'm
Oh,
doing the Roman Reigns.
oh yeah, most of
I'm doing. I'm doing the tribal chief one. No, but like I was saying, you were talking about your podcast, but uh, networking and education, man, is the key.
yeah,
Yep.
that's what it is, huh?
And it doesn't matter what podcast it is, man. Sometimes I'm scrolling like the other night. I was on a podcast. Like I was like, "Up, you're going to be on a podcast." Okay. Nope, you're going to be the audience. Like it was live, but there were people watching this dude on the Zoom, and then
Yeah.
he wanted live feedback on what we thought of this guy, man. And I was like, seriously, I'm not a business guy. Like I'm not here doing the big business thing and making billions and billions of dollars. Like you asked me to come in here. I listen. I'm doing my pros and cons. Maybe this is a learning thing for me. When you asked me to come on in August, because they were all commenting because I had like a brick wall. When you're on Zoom, you can do your own background. I had like a brick wall.
Yeah.
They were like, "Hey, how'd you do that?" I'm like, "Well, when I do podcasts, I don't like this stuff behind me. It takes away. I mean, not like you. You have like the design of your show, but like people zoom in on things and make
Oh yeah,
comments.
this is fine. I ordered this off Amazon.
That's cool, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
You made that?
Chat GPT.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Hey,
then
I wanted to say. Oh, go ahead, man.
oh yeah, I told Chat GPT to characterize me, and then
Yeah.
put me in a podcast, and then that's what it did. Got my headphones, got the mic over here. Like since I'm not on landscape, you can't see it all, but it got the microphone, got the headset, got my little neon light on top.
Cool, man.
Yeah, it got me doing this.
So
It was up 25
let me
bucks.
just tell you, yeah, let me just say one thing. So I think the thing that made me feel the best is in No Filter when my kid actually endorsed me.
Yeah,
My own child endorsed me, and I didn't put it like a prologue or a forward. I took it like a child diary, like Izzy's diary,
yeah,
and wrote, and she wrote, and it brought me to tears because I was like, look, I'm not putting this to your head, but can you just, I'm writing this book. It's the last book, and I want to know what you thought of me when I was your dad younger. And then when she put in here about how I moved down to Florida, like that changed her whole life because she was down there as a competitive cheerleader. Her mom lost her job, and then I was down there driving around anyways, helping veterans. And I was stationary until she graduated from high school. And she's like, for you to give up everything you're doing, Dad, because like it's funny because when her and her mom are out at dinner and stuff, because they both are in Orlando, they come across veterans who sit at the tables with them or the Japanese restaurants. And my daughter always listens and analyzes people and then listens to them and says, Well, my dad was in the military for 20 years, and he's an advocate for veterans. And then it's like, boom, they strike the conversation. But I am gonna, because I paid my daughter tuition off for cosmetology school. I told her, you owe me a big one, kid. And I have a lot of people telling me that I'm on podcasts to make myself look good or to hide behind the books and all that. And I've heard of people say, F them and all this, but I'm going to have my daughter on my podcast, and I don't even know what she's going to say. And it's probably only going to be 20 minutes because today these kids only write like emojis and short sentences. But I'm just going to ask my daughter to tell the people, like, it's going to be different than asking the question. I'm just going to say, Isabel, I want you to tell the people what you thought of your dad back in the day and how we are today,
Yeah.
Because I want people to understand that the stuff that's in these books is not theatrical or some AI driven. The things I talk about, remember, AI does not have emotions.
Most definitely.
And then one other thing, what we're talking about right now online, I guarantee you that, because I've seen people do vetting processes. Mm-hmm. And one guy showed me, he's like, all he did is put in ChatGPT my name, all the stuff I talk about on podcasts, all my book information, everything. Because I was like, hey, you want a bio? I'll give you like a 30-second. He gave me this big rap sheet about me. And I was like, what? So I guarantee later on, if you go and Google like your name, it'll say that you have a podcast and stuff like that. And eventually it's going to say that I was a guest on. It says I was guest on multiple podcasts, and sometimes it lists the podcast that I was on.
Really?
It's wild, man. Yeah, it's like AI is doing the algorithm right now. When we're speaking, it's like when you go to Google or something online, because a lot of people don't understand Google and all the Safari, that's all AI driven now. Before, you could just go in the search bar and it would look up what it could look up. Now it has like an AI search, Yeah,
it's crazy.
Don't get me started on AI, man. The world.
So you talk about your daughter a lot. So your daughter is throughout this manuscript and dedications. How has that becoming a father changed the man you are already?
Oh man, dude.
Today.
You know what? When my daughter became a cheerleader, I had no faith in her, man.
Yeah.
She kept saying, like, I had a neighbor tell me, man, you remember when he goes, it sounds creepy, man. He's like, I used to sit out and watch your daughter flip in the backyard. I'm like, damn, I wish I was brave enough to watch my daughter. My neighbors would watch my daughter flip in the backyard and do backflips. And now, the neighbor told me, now she's a competitive coach. Like, she's a 2-time world champ, Yeah. But I didn't believe in her. And she left home at 13 years old and went to Florida and lived with host families. And at 13, she became a world champion in Miami. Amazing. And then at age 16, she became world champion again with Revelations out of Top Gun in Orlando. And they took second the next year. And then I know my kid wanted to go to college with our friends, but she went to cosmetology school, and because when she was a little kid, I remember her doing the little heads. The little girls that do the Barbie heads?
Yeah.
Yeah, and when she was cheering, she was doing all the girls' hair, and now she's getting ready to graduate on June 20th from one of the biggest, Paul Mitchell?
Yeah, oh yeah.
The biggest cosmetology school in the country. Like, and you know what? She didn't go to college. Top Gun recruited her at 18 to be a coach.
Nice.
So now my daughter's doing a crawl, walk, run, and coach, teach, mentor, because like she coached 2 teams last year. She was the head coach of one team, first time ever. She was the head coach of one team, and she was backup for her second team. But it was at the lower level because my daughter's a very high level cheerleader. Like you can go all the way up to level 7 in college.
Yeah.
So she's a 6, but can do better than 7. But real quick, this year she's coaching 5 teams.
Got a lot on her plate.
5 teams. Yeah. So she's not going to the club, and she's not, like, I'm telling you, man, if she's not at the gym, she's doing cosmetology. And right now she did the teenager thing. Right now, she's going to cosmetology school while the season is out
Yeah.
from 9 in the morning till 9 at night because she missed so many days. She was
Oh,
supposed
so
to
she's done
graduate
double
May
time on it.
20th. Yeah,
Yeah.
we call in the military we call it holdover, like in basic training.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, she's in holdover because she doesn't graduate now for a month later. But she always complains when I talk to her. But it's going to be good, man. I get to see her in July when she comes up here before I go out on the road because I'm about to go out and do like a speaking campaign
Yeah.
called My Purpose. So
That's what's up,
it's
man. So are you scheduled in a lot of places?
no, man, I haven't even thought about it, man. All I'm trying to do is get rid of this. I live in a room right now, like a condo room with
Yeah.
a bathroom and a small kitchen. It's probably about $1,000 a month, but like all this materialistic stuff. I went from a 10 by 30 to a 5 by 5 in my storage unit, and the only thing that's in that storage unit is stuff that I'm leaving for my daughter when I'm no longer here.
Yeah.
And I already have my shadow box and everything made for my military awards. It's all in there, and that's what's going to be at my funeral. I don't want to be in a vault. I don't want to be buried. I want my kid to have me in a vault like a vase. I have the box. It's creepy. I have the flag case, everything. The funeral home I've done all the arrangements from when I sold my house with the funeral home. Right here, everything right here is the only stuff that I have in my life. This materialistic stuff. Some of these paintings and stuff that I have, the bull here is all pictures done by people that have mental health issues or trying to make themselves better. But yeah, the awards and stuff, I'm just going to take the frames out. I told them when I leave to go do this event in October, I'm not coming back. So whatever's in the room, they can give out to the people that live here, man.
Most definitely.
Like I can't. And I'm up for Author of the Year right now. And if I do win, I'm going to get this big trophy. And I told them, I may not even accept the trophy, man. It's about the credibility, man.
Yeah.
Most
definitely.
I already told them. Yeah, I told the people, like, if I get so many votes and I win Author of the Year and what is it, Best Mental Health Encouragement Book Award, if I win, I don't want a trophy, man.
Yeah,
no, I don't want a trophy. No, what am I going to do? Take it to, like, Thailand and hold up beside me and go, hey, I'm an award-winning author. That's all materialistic stuff, man. Like, awards to me is credibility.
Yeah.
And I don't ever talk about the individual awards because it's in my book. Why should I keep repeating it on a podcast? You know?
Yeah, most definitely, man.
Yeah.
And speaking in your book and your podcast, why are mirrors such a powerful symbol throughout your writing of your life?
No one has ever asked me that question, man. So there was a time in my life where I hated myself.
Yeah.
You got to understand, to love people, you have to love yourself or like yourself.
Yes.
There was a time when I was probably in the best shape of my life, but I had so much going on up here. Like I believe I might have been a staff sergeant in East Sinks. There was a very bad time in my life where just the smallest minute thing would really piss me off. And I lived in the barracks as a staff sergeant. And that really made me mad because like I knew other staff sergeants were living off base, but I would take the anger out in my barracks room on the wall. I would punch. I put it in my book. I would punch the walls until my knuckles bled. And then I would clean myself up and go back to work like nothing ever happened. Like I was hiding it. And I believe, like, I won't lie, when you're a leader, sometimes you get knocked down.
Yeah.
You know, but some leaders don't go back. Because the crawl, walk, run is you start out as a follower and end up as a leader. But me, I don't consider myself as a leader. I consider myself as a mentor. And lots of people tell me, "Oh man, you're a legend. You're a leader." Well, you think that, but I'm not going to say that and say I'm better than you. But when I was a staff sergeant, I got an altercation with my one of the platoon sergeants who kept calling me the MF in front of the soldiers. So I struck him, and I ended up in a museum. And let me tell you what, when I ended up in a museum, I realized that I was in like a fun house, like a when you go into a fun house and there's many mirrors.
Yeah.
I've done a few book trailers where like I'm like an image looking at different mirrors or breaking the mirrors because the first book, The Mirror, was actually supposed to be called Cover to Cover because I never read a whole book in my entire life from cover,
Yeah.
even from high school. It was always like, I was in art classes and stuff, and I loved history, and I knew history, but now everything has been a lie. Everything has been a total lie. So like smoking mirrors, but I believe I started writing about mirrors because have you ever actually pulled a mirror out of its frame or off the wall and seen the back of it? It's like blue or black, right?
Yeah, blue, black, or gray. Yeah.
We are like a mirror. I see the shiny side of you, right? But you have disclosed on the podcast tonight with me that you used to be a villain too.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm talking about? You see the shiny side, but there's
You don't see the dark side.
You don't see the skeletons. You only hear when they talk about it. And then when you get into that marriage and you find out, I always say, once a cheater, always a cheater.
Mm-hmm.
My ex-wife, if I knew she had the skeletons that I know now, I would have never married her. Because I've had this discussion with my daughter. I'm like, you're lucky that I married your mom because you wouldn't be here if I married your mom. She was like, wow, what's going on? I was like, I can't discuss it. Your mom will come after me and all that. But I do know when I dropped my first book, my ex-wife came after me because I actually put her name in it. But I pulled it because one thing you learn as an author is this: no names, no locations, and what's the other one? No organizations. Don't say none of that. You won't get sued. So I pulled her name, but I used my daughter's name, Izzy. I could say Izzy, but I don't say Isabel. But I did think, Izzy's Diary. I don't actually say her name, Isabel. Because she doesn't even like me calling her Isabel. She's like, Dad, you sound so serious. Just call me Izzy, like everybody else does. And I'm like, okay. But yeah, man. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all? Because let me see. One thing I was going to do in the entire book of The Broken Mirror. So you looked at The Broken Mirror, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in The Broken Mirror, there are pictures of mirrors.
Yeah.
Just mirrors. And that is like my last creation. There's a mirror with a little tiny chair. That is to you to reflect back on whatever creation. And then there is there anyone out there? Or is there anyone in? Yeah. So these are all the mirrors. I see dead people. There's like an image in the mirror.
Yeah.
You look at the So, and the other thing is, have you ever gone in a room, like a bathroom or a room, and turn out the light? I know this sounds creepy, and you look in the mirror and it's kind of like dim. Do you think it's your real image looking at you, or do you think it's like a falsified type image? Because I don't think mirrors lie.
Yeah, man. Don't scare me. I got a big old mirror in my bedroom.
Yeah, mirrors don't lie, man. Because here's the thing: you can go to a fun house, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they have mirrors set up to make you big and large and all this. But your home mirror, when you look at it, and I've seen movies where like they talk back to you, but I don't believe in that. But when you look at yourself in the mirror, you are seeing the true you. Like you're seeing all the blemishes and everything. And if you're overweight, you're overweight. You can't go, I'm thin, and look in the mirror. And that's why people go on these like rampages and stuff, because like they look in the mirror. And at the time when I was going through it, I absolutely hated mirrors. I always try to avoid myself from mirrors.
You're answering my next question. Yeah.
Now I talk about coming into my mirror world. Like you heard me talk about mirror people. I don't call my people. I don't call them fans. My followers are called mirror people because, like, when you're going through the same stuff I went through, or the stuff that they're going through that I don't know about, I would like just to reach out to the screen and pull you into my mirror world.
Yeah.
Not fantasy thing, but like it's real, people. Mental health is real. And so
you just answered my next question, but there's a second part to it. Because like the question was why did you hate, like you mentioned there were for years you hated your reflection. So you just answered that. So what brought you back to facing yourself again?
Pain. Well, not pain, but like purpose.
Uh-huh.
Because like when you have a failed marriage with no intimacy for 10 years.
Hmm.
Um, so after my daughter was born, there was no intimacy for like 8 years. None.
Hmm.
No good morning, no hellos. And then, I worked in the prison system. I was treated like garbage, even though I was a veteran. I worked for the civilian government. I was always a follower in the civilian government. I didn't agree with policy. I got to work in a SCIF, a secure facility, when I did an internship at Walter Reed. They let me sit in a room when I was doing an internship with a government agency, and they're like, this is what you're about to get into if you ever get a security job on the outside. So I went in this room and I sat down, and all I had to do was put like these covers in the beginning of all these folders, and they were like, it's just you and these records. Don't be afraid to look at the records,
Yeah.
because when you're about to become like a veteran or doing security clearances, you got to understand that there is corruption within the system.
Yeah.
And I was like, and they were like, welcome to the club. And I was like, well, I probably would never ever do this again. Hey, I got this internship. Then I go and work for a cola company, and then I go work for the prison. And while I'm at Legoland with my wife and my daughter, I'm not even trying to remember where I was at, but I got a phone call and they were like, we want you to come work for the government. And I was like blown away. But it was weird because when I went in there, it was like, no one was teaching you anything. It was like, if it was on your resume, you knew how to do it. Because like I
Yeah.
sat down with a guy and he's like, hey, you're our better. I'm retiring tomorrow. This is the system. Learn it. I'm like, what? Yeah. So lessons learned. I mean, it's all about lessons learned and the pain that I've been through. And then being suicidal in 2014. And then also I just started talking about being suicidal when I started writing The Broken Mirror. The first piece I wrote in The Broken Mirror was, man, why am I not figuring this out? Hold on for a second. Let me look at it while we're talking. It's very important because I started writing this on May 4th.
Hmm.
And like the Star Wars Day,
Yeah.
everybody talks about May 4th. So,
Yeah.
Where's it at? Because it's near the end. Where is it? Because it's very, I should have this right off the top of my head, but I was sitting out on the back porch of my home and I was talking to my little dog and I was watching the dew on the grass because it had just stormed. And I did not know that I was going to write a book. And because I had tremors so bad, the calm before the storm was the very first piece that I ever wrote. So that's like, maybe this book doesn't have chapters, it has entries. So like page 95, entry, calm before the storm. I talked to my phone and the
Yeah.
words came out because that's the way I wrote that book, because I can't write because of tremors. That's
Yeah.
the way I do everything audio monologue now. But
Mhm.
yeah, the calm before the storm was the very first piece that I wrote. And it was about, like, I was suicidal at the time. And I kept telling my dog when I was doing this, like, I took all the suicidal stuff out.
Mhm.
And I was like, look, Zoe, it's going to be you. I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to be here. Because, like, when you put your heart and soul into 16 years in civilian government and they just axe you, they just axe you because, like, you have mental issues and don't agree. And, like, I basically threatened my boss.
Yeah.
I'm like, look, one of us is going to leave this room. And then I went home for 3 months and they sent me an email and said, you're terminated. So,
Oh man.
but yeah, it feels good because I filed for civilian disability from the civilian government and it was approved.
Yeah.
So they pushed me out to 20 years. So basically, I don't have 38 plus years. I have like 40 years of military and government experience in like leadership, and also watching behind the scenes. So it's all lessons learned. And you know what? I feel better today. Like physically, I feel good. Mentally, you know, I take anger out on my dog. She loves me when I take anger out, but like I don't throw my dog around or anything. But like she copes. She just lays there and looks at me like I'm stupid. But I don't live with anybody, man. I don't think I could live with anybody. I've met people, gone to concerts of people that have PTSD, and I'm like, how in the hell do these people live? And I'm thinking, they're probably thinking the same thing about me. You know, like you find a nice, attractive girl, but she's been abused or something like that. And it's like, she has PTSD. You have PTSD. You don't talk about your problems, but she gets angry at you at the concert. And you're like, how in the hell can I date this girl? You know?
Yeah.
And it's like me, you know, like I don't know. I'm a restless sleeper, you know?
Yeah.
I couldn't even imagine what goes through. Like, I want to record myself at night. Like, the dog is gone because I'm like tossing and turning, but I found coping mechanisms with like light blankets or cooling blankets that like bring me down, man. So, and I always use a little fan to blow air on me. Yeah. So, but yeah, man. Like I said, mentally, I feel really good right now, but I still have demons, and the demons aren't ever going away because like someone could piss me off in a heartbeat. And there's a lot of times where I don't get mad, but then I think about it. I think about the worst stuff in the world. Like, do I want to do this to somebody? Do I want to pick up my dog and throw her across the room? No, because I know that I'm going to get in trouble. And you know what? If you do the Google search, it's pretty funny because all the dumb shit that I've done in life, none of that comes up. But all the cool stuff that I've done, like the books and the awards and the combat, it talks about all the tours and everything. It's like, dude, you can't come on a podcast and live because someone's going to Google it. Someone's going to Google it and they're going to look up your name and they're going to be like, okay. So that's why I say when you go on a military podcast, don't talk about your combat experience. Like, don't talk about your tours.
Mm-hmm.
Damn sure don't talk about your awards because people don't want to hear that stuff, man. They want to hear how you're getting better.
Yeah, and most definitely.
Every day to me is a journey. It really is, man.
So you're actually answering, like, it's like, did I send you these questions before we started this podcast?
No, man, not at all.
So writing started at therapeutic poetry and became books, advocacy, and platforms. You know, so when did the writing stop being survival and start becoming purpose?
So this book right here is about things I did in the military. This is the Mirror Brack edition.
Yeah.
It used to be a gold. If you go on Amazon, you'll see it. It used to be a gold cover, but because of all the haters, I had a lot of hate in me, and I had a lot of hate in me, man. So I changed the cover to black and white. But this is a picture of me and my daughter when I was extremely, when she was really small. But I think after this book right here, Purpose started when my father died. No, Purpose started when I was on my back porch, man, and I was going to unalive myself because, like, I did not think I would be on podcasts. I didn't even know what podcasts were. Yeah,
me neither. Not till a couple years ago.
Yeah, 24, man. I didn't know what a veteran podcast was. I know what a veteran advocate was. I've always heard people out there trying to help other veterans. I'm like, man, I ain't telling my story, dude. People think I'm crazy. And the first podcast I was ever on was, I think it was Oscar Mike Radio. I was on Oscar Mike Radio with Travis. And from that day, those guys, Travis and Brian and Mark, they influenced me to be an advocate because, like, when I was out in my RV helping people like in North Carolina that were struggling along the East Coast down to Florida, like there'd be nights where I'd be at like gas stations and there'd be homeless people. But I learned not to give money to them. Like I just try to go buy them something to eat and give it to them because they, you know, all these people that, you know, beg for money, they want it for drugs or alcohol. But purpose for me was when I was out on my RV, man, when a guy that was suicidal because his child died in a head-on collision, and I gave him this book that had a different cover on it before, It wasn't even an award-winning book yet. It was just reviewed by the U.S. Book Review. I gave it to him, and he's the first person that came back and told me, "Hey, bro, this saved my life, man.
Yeah.
I was gonna unalive myself." So, and like I said, there's two other people that the book saved their lives. So that's better than any Amazon review, any Goodreads review, and that's why actually there are people struggling out there that I give the manuscript to for free.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not going to be like, look, you're suicidal, go buy my $55 book.
Yeah.
You know, I knew a guy that was going through it. He calls himself the suicide guy on Facebook. He's like, yo, man, I can't buy a book. I'm getting ready to go. I'm like, what do you mean go? He's like, I'm getting ready to like check out. And I'm like, no, man, you can't do that. You need to go get in rehab or something. And he's like, well, maybe I do. But I sent him my books physically, and his wife held those from him. So when he got out of rehab after Christmas, he was in rehab for almost a year, dude.
Yeah.
He got out of rehab, and he said, yo, man, I picked up your one book. He goes, I really wish I could have had that in rehab. He goes, but I watch your morning message every day. He goes, I always give like a little heart emoji. He's always there every day. There's a heart, a thumb up, or inspiring. And he's getting to the nerve where he wants to write like a testimony about what my books have done for him. Because he actually, I said, look, man, why don't you just post a picture of your hands on the table of the books? So he took a picture of the books on the table and said, these books helped me through my suicidology. So
that's what's up, man. That is awesome. That's a big testimony to by itself. You know what I mean? So, question for you.
Man.
Like you say, you don't claim victory over your demons, only persistence. What does persistence look like for you today?
Ooh, you got some good questions, man. Live, man. Persistence live today. He might got me on that. You might have to reword that one, man, because I'm not the smartest apple in the bunch. So
okay,
persistent.
So you don't. So you said yourself you don't claim victory over your demons, right? So
no, because you know what, they're always there. But like I said, coping mechanisms.
Yeah, coping mechanisms.
Yeah. Interactions with people. A veteran podcast. Sitting down and talking. It doesn't even have to be a veteran. Dude, I have sat down and talked to so many people that are suicidal. Like I said, I've actually, and I won't lie, like you laughed for a while there when we talked about the LGBT and trans, but I hated that. I hated those people, man. But you know what, man? You're going to come across them, and you know what? They're going to say, tell me about this. Tell me about this. And if you say something wrong in that community or those communities, let me tell you what, it only takes one person, dude. One person to say the wrong thing. And that's why I say I bashed that female veteran. And I'm not allowed on some veteran podcasts. They're my boys. They take care of me. I take care of them. But if she's on the podcast, ain't no way in hell, man.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's not because of me. I'm not going to say anything. But I do know that she's out there disclosing things, but not using my name. And that's fine and dandy. But like I said, I don't know if you know this, there's three parts to a story. There's the victim who's telling the story, or the person telling the story, the other person's side, and then the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll just leave it at that, because there's like, and when I'm on a podcast, I've totally agreed. I am not the judge or the jury. That is why you and I talking, if there's people out there that don't agree, they're going to drop something in the comments.
Yeah,
if people love this podcast, they're going to share it out. If people like this, they're going to say, hey, where does Bill get his book? Where can I get Bill's book? Or, hey, Steve, I'm struggling, man. Can you send me Bill's information? And you know, I don't have a lot of money. I'll send them the manuscript. But here's the thing I've noticed. I have sent manuscripts and said, what do you think of it? Some people don't read them or can't read them, but there are people, like when I was on Vet SOS podcast, Veteran Podcast, I sent them my audiobook, The Broken Mirror, so that they could know who they're really dealing with. So I asked Sean, I'm like, yo, man, what do you think of it? And he goes, I don't know what to think, man. I've already purchased your other 2 audiobooks. And I'm like, okay, but that must mean something. He's like, yeah. And he had me on the podcast, and he was like, "Look, man, whatever you're doing, man, you're helping people." He goes, "Dude," and I don't have a lot of people. I don't say, "Go follow my YouTube. Go follow me here." If they want to follow me, they'll follow me. But
Yeah.
the thing about it is this: one person, man. I've had people reach out from the UK, Australia. I've had country music stars reach out to me. They're pursuing public affairs. And I'm also going to try to get some people from my group onto your show that they're authors and stuff to help you out.
That'll work.
I would love to. I would love to. You scratch my back, I scratch your back. You come on my podcast, and then I drill you. But actually, the way I drill people is I do 4 questions.
Yeah.
And then you tell the story, man. And then, like, if you get into something, then I ask the question. It comes out of my mind. Like, I mean, definitely you show that you've done your research, man. And I really appreciate that because there's a lot of people that be like, just tell your story. And, and I'm like, I don't know. And we supposed to only do like 30 minutes, man.
30, 45 minutes, hour and a half. Hey, I told you if the vibe goes, the vibe goes, brother.
Hey, the vibe is going. The vibe is going, man. So I just hope that this helps you out, man. Because I mean, like, I don't do it for views, man. I do it because there's somebody out there that's gonna watch this and they're gonna be like, "Damn, Steve got a good show, man, and he's got good people on there." So, and I'll just tell you, I used to be called 1821 Voice of the Voiceless, and people are like, "What the hell is 1821? Like, what is that?" But then, because my boys used to call me Steve-O, because my last name is Stevens, because it doesn't say William Stevens, it just says Steve-O. When you piss people off and they call you Steve-O, it resonates because, like, when you get out of the army and they're still in the army and they're doing something for the government and they're like, "Hey, Steve-O, what do you think of this, man?" Like, because I work for the government and the civilian government, I think this will be a cool briefing or something, And it's not like, "Yo, Bill, what do you think?" It's always Steve-O because Steve-O is respect now. And now I go by story, TYME, with Steve-O because there's so many times out there, Steve-O times or whatever, and I'm not Steve-O from Jackass, so I want people to understand that because if you look at my O, it's capitalized. So, and then the other thing I want people to understand is, I don't know if you've seen this, but no filter. Look at the O in no. Parent advisory logo.
Go to the left. A little bit more. Is it advisory?
Parent advisory logo.
Yeah.
So the O is the parent advisory logo to warn people that there's some bad shit in that book.
Most definitely. So if a veteran reads this book at 3:00 in the morning and feels alone, what do you hope that they take from this book?
Which one? Reflection series?
Yeah.
They're going to be reading a lot. They're going to be reading a lot, but I'll just tell you that a lot of veterans have picked up the Broken Mirror.
Broken Mirror,
the book that's doing the best, man, is because here's the thing, and that's why I asked you about the time. Most people that have traumatic issues or PTSD, you lose them after 30 minutes.
Yeah, most definitely.
I've only been on a couple long podcasts because, like, I lose my train of thought. But you and I are engaging, so this is really good. But if you want a good book, this is only 98 pages. I'll just read just a couple things real quick out of it, like the chapters.
Yeah.
So this is called No Filter from Skateboard Kid to Entrepreneur, Building a Global Platform Through My Mental Health Journey. Let me see here real quick. Okay. So there's the credibility. It starts out with credibility. The abuse, the name calling and rumors. Billy Beethoven. I used to play the violin. They used to call me Billy Beethoven. Toxic marriage. My RV journey. My official memoir. The breakdown of 1821, which is no longer. If you build it, they will come. Remember Noah's Ark?
Yeah.
He built the ark and they came.
Yes.
Well, I built my platform and I want people to come.
Started showing up.
Career killers are people that stand in your career way. I had one that ruined my military career. Leadership, tactical leadership. the tactical breakdown. Then message to all struggling authors. So there's a lot of key points in here for authors that are trying to get started.
Mm-hmm.
A father or a parent trying to rebuild what is broken. And then I have the forgotten chapter because like I didn't even add my animals. So chapter 18 is my animals, my survivor, the forgotten chapter. Chapter 19 is I'm still here, still standing. And then everybody says about chapter 20, still effing here.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. But it's survived hell, still effing here. Scars don't lie, neither do I. So.
Nice.
And then the back of the Reflection series says the Reflection series, Legacy Edition, brings together poetry, memoir, and lived experience into one complete volume. Not what you're called, not what you're assigned, but what you build. The Reflection series, the Reflection, Foundation, and Legacy. And then very, very small, you can't even see it. It's very cryptic. It says, the mirror, the broken mirror, and no filter right there, right at the bottom. Very, very small. And this is a hardback, laminated, very heavy, very durable, the best paper, because I believe when somebody picks up a $55 book, they better get quality.
Oh, most definitely. Yes. Yes.
But I hope that veteran that reads maybe no filter probably goes and looks in the mirror, man.
Most definitely, man.
And
So
checks themselves, checks themselves to make sure, or picks up the phone and says, "Hey, Bill," or "Hey, Steve, are you all right, man? Is everything okay?" Because what I read in this book, man, there's a lot of shit going on in your head, man. Like, are you alive? Are you here?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm here, but it's all raw. It's very raw and to the point.
And so you just answered my next question. So after everything you've been through and everything you've overcome, and I know we touched a little bit about it. You're about to go on your journey. What's next for you?
Public speaking.
Public speaking.
So
yeah.
That public speaking will be. I haven't done it yet. I'm trying to network with like sergeant majors that run installations like big military bases. Because here's the thing: people don't know, man. When you leave the military, you're going to do a couple classes and stuff like that. Also, when you leave to go to retirement from a business, they may just send you on your way, and the grass is not greener on the other side. So my purpose tour is purpose, mental health, suicide, transition, and that 5-year plan. So what I want to do is I just want to get a theater on the base. Hey, there's this dude. He's a retired guy, and I don't want to look like the human blob. That's why I'm out working out. This guy, he's got his little dog with him, and he's doing public speaking about what's it like when you leave the military. Because I'm going to tell you, if there's a lot of senior officers and seniors like me, when you leave the military, they don't have a clue how to write a resume, man. They don't have a 5-year plan. They think because they're this rank, they're going to get out and boss the world around. Bro, it ain't happening like that. Some of these people that are like, a what?
Do you think you get a lot of backlash from that? Letting people know what's going to happen when they get out?
No, because we need. Yeah, we need more people to talk about it, man.
That's most.
And if I get backlash, then I'll go back and recheck myself, because there's no skit. It's all going to come from the mind, body, and soul. Like every speaking event that I do is going to be different.
Yeah, most definitely.
But I don't think you can understand. Like if you have seniors that are in the room about to leave, and you go, "Hey, I'm here to present myself today. What is your purpose in life?" And then, do you have a plan? When you leave and you get your little briefing from the military, they give you a little certificate, an award, or you have your Bronze Star and your Purple Heart. What is that going to do for you on the outside? Not a damn thing. You're a hero to us in the eyes, but when you leave the military don't care about you. It's your job to get your benefits, because like when I got out of the military, I was only 50%. Now I'm 100% because I networked, educated, and I had to get a lawyer because the VA was like, nah. And I proved to them long-term medication destroys veterans, overprescribing, and tremors. Tremors from the medication I was taking for 8 years caused me to have very bad tremors and almost caused me not to drive. And I was awarded 100% permanent and total. And I'll tell you, man, it's not easy, man. I don't agree with some of these people that have like a leg injury or an ankle injury. Now, some people have sexual trauma and they get 100% because it's always replaying in their mind.
Yeah.
You know? So, and I always think that these gentlemen and ladies that were in combat, like I did not see actual, like, I was not in firefights, but I have been picked off at and shot at, but not in full engagement like some of my friends, man. Like the guy I just interviewed on my podcast, he was the first in the Nasiriyah, the Marine Corps unit that went into Nasiriyah and had photos. And we weren't allowed to have no cameras where we were at, but like how the hell these guys had cameras on the line, like going in to attack the Republican Guard?
Yeah.
Like, dude, that was terrible, man. He's showing me pictures of combat like that. I'm like, and it wasn't like 5-second engagement. It was like every day, man. These guys in Afghanistan, every day, man. Every day they got mortared or attacked and stuff. And you don't even want me to get started now, like this thing that's going on. Certain country bombed Kuwait, the UAE, United Arab Emirates, you know, for like the countries where we have soldiers deployed. And then Iran shot missiles at them and we shot missiles at them. But you know what? Do you think anyone told them in Kuwait that they were going to have a missile attack? Living in a trailer? And now their body's coming home in a coffin with a flag on it? Thank you for your service. This guy went down as a hero? No. It's because the government doesn't care, man. As long as the money is being funded in, man, I'm telling you, man, there's a lot of stuff going on in the government that people don't even know. And they try to silence people, man. Like, AI runs everything now, man. Whatever you say online, AI analytics and AI analyzes everything.
That's what's up, man. So for anyone, so the last question for you, so we can go and wrap it up so you can go, because I know it's late over there in Pennsylvania. So for anyone listening today who may be struggling with PTSD, trauma, depression, family separation, or fighting battles in silence, what advice would you give them from your own journey?
Say again? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing like a slow motion picking up in your background, like somebody's in slow mo.
That's my headset getting ready to die.
Oh, okay. So, what advice for someone who has PTSD, trauma, depression, family separation, or fighting battles in silence? What advice would you give them from your own journey?
First, don't go down the rabbit hole. That's the bunny and Alice in Wonderland. See Alice there falling?
Yeah.
Don't go down the rabbit hole. This goes in my books when I give them out to people. Don't fall into the trap. But like I said, mental health is a life sentence without parole. If you have PTSD, I believe that and you're struggling, you definitely need to reach out and talk to people, because the ones in silence are the ones that aren't here, the ones that will unalive themselves. So I always say, they say do the buddy check, but when you do the buddy check and you call your buddy, I'm like, hey, this is Steve. Hey, Steve, are you all right? And if there's a pause, there's a problem.
Yeah.
You should immediately, I'm like, yo, Steve, you all right? Be like, yeah, man, everything's great, man. The family's great, everything's good. But then you had a bad day, or the demons are coming, and you say, Steve, are you all right? Be like, there's a problem, man, and we need to talk. And I'll tell you, if it only takes 8 seconds to save someone's life, man. Just to pick up the phone and say, hey, man, I'm thinking about you, or hey, girl, I'm thinking about you. Or if you just, if you sit down, I hand out poker chips that say 988 and they have my official logo on them.
Yeah.
You would not believe someone that's suicidal and you sit down and you give them a poker chip and they look at it. That's like a thing of hope.
Yeah.
And that's what life is about. Like the event that I'm going to speak at in October for the first time at a book award ceremony, I'm the guest speaker. It's a hope. It's all about hope. and I have to make my speech about hope. Like, I'm not talking about my books. I'm talking about the woman who developed that whole organization, the prestigious International Hope Book Awards, because I know her very well, and I knew all about this before her husband even did. And I helped her with all the designing and all the certificates, and helped her with this and that, you know. But she gets the credit. I don't. But I'm not talking. I'm going to be award-winning. I've already won an award for the book, but I don't even know if I'm going to win at the event. But I'm the guest speaker, and I'm going to talk about what hope is.
That's what's up, man. Well, hey,
Yeah, man.
William, Mr. Steve-O, I do appreciate you coming on to the SDM Effect, brother. This was amazing. Thank you for your time. Sit tight right quick while I end this live, and we'll chat up a little bit before I let you go. All right, brother? Well,
Yeah, man.
if anybody wants to get a hold of you, what is your handle so they can get a hold of you? I'll tag you as well.
Yeah. My handle. You mean on Facebook or something like that?
Yeah. I'll tag you on the live, so if they have any questions for you, they can reach out to you.
Yeah, man.
And then
Or my website. Yeah, my official
YouTube, I'll
website
tag you
is.
as well.
Yeah, my official website is so that people can go and order the books, whatever platform they want to buy it from.
Yeah.
Is Story. So it's all like lowercase. Story Time is TYME with Stevo, STEVO 69. I was born in 69.com. And that'll take you to the Reflection Series website so that you can see everything. And there's blogs in there about the new book and all that. But I don't have the book for sale yet because like it just came out. So I'm behind on that. You know, I got a lot of things going. I've been multiple podcasts back to back. Like I don't even have time to think, man.
Well, all right, man. Stick around 1 second. Again, thank you for joining the SDM Effect.